All right, we're starting our next section in InDesign, and this is what we're going to be doing today is working on an ad in InDesign. We're also going to go over and do a poster like this, so I'm just going to walk you through it. You also have instructions posted if you would like to read them as well. But we're going to start with the magazine ad, and we're going to start with a new document. The new document is going to be 4.75, so make sure on inches. It's going to be 4.75 by 6.5 tall. And you're going to have a quarter margin, so you're at a half. So do 1.2 or 0.25. Make sure they're all locked so that they all go to the same margin. And then we'll hit create. Your next step is you're going to get your rectangular tool underneath your circle tool, select it, and you're going to click to open the options panel, and you're going to create a 4.25 rectangular by 6. Oops, it's 5. Try that again. I think I hit cancel. Hit 6. Hit OK. There's your rectangle. And then you're going to set the upper left corner at the bleed margins right there. So center that in there. And then we're going to do a no fill color and do a 4-point black outline stroke on the inside. So make sure if you go to your strokes and do it at a 4-point stroke. Make sure it's solid. And then we're going to create another rectangle. And the next rectangle is going to be a 1 inch by, 4.25 by 1.5. And hit OK. We're also going to put in the upper left hand of it, but at the 5.5 margin bleeds. And then this one is no stroke, but we're going to have a black fill color. So you could just reverse it like that and double click it, and you'll see that it's black. Or you can go to your swatches. Somewhere is your swatches. And you can see there that it's black. Now we're going to go to our oval tool, and we're going to click for some options. And then our oval tool is going to be a 1 inch by 0.75. And we're going to hit OK. We're also going to do a fill color, black fill color. And we're going to put it at the location coordinates. So you click on it, you go up here. So you see as you move it, you see the location coordinates, the X and the Y. The coordinates are going to be 3.2 by 1.5. 1.5. There you go. So that's about the location we wanted. We're going to draw a text frame on the artboard. Okay. So we're going to get our text tool. we're going to hit over here T, and we're going to draw a box. And in this box, we're going to type WWG and the registration symbol, which is a little bit of a trademark. So to get the registration symbol, we're going to go to type, and we're going to hit type. We're going to insert special character. So where's insert special character? Right there. And then we're going to go to symbols, and then we're going to go to registered mark, trademark symbol right there. So that's how you get that. You click it, and then it goes in the upper right corner like that. We're going to change the font to something. I'm not going to be particular on the font, but just change it to a nice sans serif, which my go-to is always Arial. Hit that, but I don't want black, I just want normal Arial. I do want you to change this to a somewhat bold. We want it to be 24 points, so make sure you at least get it to 24, like that. And we're going to go to the paragraph panel. What's the stroke panel? And we're going to, here's our paragraph panel. I want to make sure that it's centered in the box. Our next step, we're going to select this registration symbol, click superscript, and in the control panel, and we're going to center the over the oval and change the color to white. So we're going to change it to white. Oops, let's go to our swatches. Where is our swatches? There. And make sure it is paper white. There you go. And then we're going to put it over top of that. So you may have to make it a little bit smaller if you have a thicker font. Actually, what needs to happen is the register is usually not that big, so make sure it's smaller. Just keep making that small until it fits in there nicely like that. So, and then you got to do the superscript part, which is in your, T tool, highlight that again. And then in your text tool, you're going to click what says in your control panel, but you could always bump it up a little bit more right here so it goes up. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. So we're going to deselect that, and then we're going to work on the cabinet that goes here. So again, we're working on something like this. And so we're going to go File, and we're going to place this cabinet, which should be in your Google Classroom. And it is, you're going to place the primitive cab.tiff. So the primitive cab right here, and we're going to open it and place it in here. Oops, undo that. And place it in here. Hang on, I'm deleting that. It's supposed to be, we're going to work on clipping paths. So we're going to place that again. Right. Oh, there it is. Thank you. That is interesting. So you can see that it's already kind of being clipped, which InDesign is being tricky. Let's delete that again. So we're going to place this, we're going to click to the pasteboard, and we're going to do a clipping path, scale to 50% and location, and then do a drop shadow. So we're going to, since we've already have this square in here, it's already doing a nice clipping path around the outside. No, we don't want that. Click it in there, and it already has kind of this nice clipping path it already did around this raster image. If not, you're going to have to get your pen tool and go in and cut it around it. So for an example, with the pen tool, and it works exactly the same way as an Illustrator, which we're all very familiar with clicking and creating shapes and dragging, clicking, dragging, you know, how a pen tool works in Adobe. This works, you know, the same in every program. So my shape's already coming in like this, but it may not for you. So you'll have to bring in the shape and create the clipping path. And then what you would do is click on the image, hit X, and then you would click on the new shape that you have and you would paste inside there. Well, maybe. So we would file place, like if we wanted that to go in there, and it would go in there like that. So, you know, Command 7 usually makes the clipping path in Illustrator, and here you just make the shape and you place it within there, and you can move it around. So at this point, this is what we're going after, and we only want it to be 50% big, so you type that in there and it would go to that size. Now if you would zoom in, especially if you get it on the gray, you can see where the clipping path is not perfect. So even in this, you can go in, get your white pointer tool, and you can edit the path to go around this image better. You also can get your pencil tool and get your smooth tool, and that also fixes the clipping path points. And so you can see that it's not all very perfect. So that's how you would do a cutout and InDesign. You would trace around the image and then place it into there. So this is kind of already done for you. So if you have questions with that, please let me know. But oops. So that's how you would do a cutout in InDesign without taking it to Photoshop to cut it out. So the location we're going to put this, again, going to your coordinates, the X coordinates is 0.3, I think, 0.3125, and then the, which I was pretty close on, is 1.375. So that's the position you should be putting your cabinet in. So deselect that, and the next one is we're going to use our eyedropper tool to sample the color of the cabinet. We're going to pick the lighter area. So a lighter area for me is like right in there. And then the color appears in your fill colors icon. So then we're going to go to the swatch panel, and we're going to go to the pop-up menu and then add new swatch, and we're going to name it. So new swatch, there it is. And then we can name it. Let's make sure it's CYMK. And name, instead of having the CYMK numbers in there, we can add, you know, name it cabinet color or whatever you want to name it there, so you know what it's for. And then select the large rectangle to fill in the color, and then you're going to fill the same color in there with no stroke, I believe. And select the smaller rectangle and change the fill color to beige with no stroke, and the text tool, click and drag a text frame. Let's make sure that we don't have a, pretty sure that, yeah, so you no stroke there, so get rid of the stroke there. Well, I guess we have to select it first. There we go, no stroke. All right. So now we're going to select the text tool, and we're going to click and drag a text frame in the upper rectangle, and we're going to type woodworker guys. So up in here, we're going to draw, and we're going to type wood worker guys, and word worker guys, and then we're going to do wood or workshop open house. So again, this is what we're going after. Work shop open house. So again, change this to a sans serif font, and I'm going to go for Arial black this time. And then we're going to do a 26 point font. So take this up to 26. We may have to do just plain Arial with the bold on it so it'll fit. Okay. And we're going to put the leading at 20 or 36 points. So that means we need to make our text box bigger. That all fits, because what does that red dot mean? That you have some text overflowing that's not fitting, which it's still giving me that, but now, oh yeah, because it's still not fitting all. There we go. So make sure you have no red dot there, so that way you have all your text there. And then we're going to align it center. So go to your center alignment. There we go. And then we're going to put the text frame location at 0.25. So that's that location, and then a 0.04375. I'm not sure why it's telling me to do that. Yeah, that's not right. We'll just center that in there. And then we're going to change it to paper white color. And again, I did it with the fill, so make sure that's not the case. You want to make sure you do it. And again, I'm doing the box, so you got to make sure that it's the text that you want by highlighting it. And there you go, your paper white woodworking guys. So we're going to click the rectangle frame tool again in the options panel, and we're going to do, we're going to click the rectangle frame tool. We're going to click again, and we're going to make a box at 1.875 by 1.0. Hit OK. There's our box again. The location of this box is going to be at 2.5 by 2.375. And then we're going to put, that doesn't look right to me. And then we're just going to put in this box some text. I don't think this is supposed to be a fill. Which is October 9th, 2011. 10:00 a.m. to 5:00 p.m. Enter again. Oakland Drive, our town. ST 33333, and then put in the phone number 665 675 3456. So we're lining this all right. We're keeping it at 12-point font, and we're make sure it's auto letting here, so that's spacing out perfect. And we're going to do a new text box at the bottom of the ad. So I don't think this is supposed to be filled with colors. That. Move that over so you can see a little bit. And now we're going to do a new text box. And this text box is going to be at the bottom of the ad. So we'll put it in there somewhere. And this is what we're going to type in it. Woodworkers. Capital A workers. Woodworkers Guild is opening their, oh my gosh, I can type here. Opening their doors to the public for the first time ever. Come see our award-winning artisans in their workshop. Creating the primitive cabinetry woodworker guys are known for. So we're going to do this in 12-point type and in bold italic. So go back to your Arial, bold italic. Again, we're getting that little red thing, so we'll just make our box a little bigger. I'm going to do the same here. Arial. Make sure that all fits in there as well. I'm going to go back here and make sure everything is capitalized. It's supposed to be capitalized. Because I don't know what's worse, turning stuff into a client and not having it capitalized correctly. So, and we're also going to make sure this is centered aligned. There we go. Now that is our ad. I think that's all they're having us do on this. Oh, we need to file place map. So we're placing the map, this little map, it's going to be low res. So again, we're going to hit file place. The map should be in your Google Classroom. It's in EPS, looks like. Oops. And you should be able just to drag it where you need it, right in there. So they can find you. One last thing we need to do is put the drop shadows on here. You go under Object, Effects, Drop Shadow. And with the drop shadow, we're going to do an XY offset of 0.1 for both. And a distance of 0.1414, which is good. And a size of 0.694. So if we hit preview, there's your woodworking. Sorry, this one's for the cabinet. So let's go back here. For the words, you're supposed to do 0.0442. And do the same over here. So you can copy it, Command C, Command V. And the size, we're going to do a 0.06. And for the distance, we're going to do a 0.6. So now that's a little closer and looks a little bit better. Hit OK. Oh, we did something wrong there. Let's try that again. So Object, Effects, Drop Shadow. Okay, so for the words, we're going to do, again, 0.04, paste. For the distance is 0.6. And for the size, 0.06, which is what we have. Why are we off? Oh, because these aren't zeros. 0, 0. There we go. Now it should look right there. Hit OK. Stays. Okay. Now, going back to here. We're going to do it one more time for the cabinet, which is, oh gosh, it's crazy. Object, Effect, Drop Shadow. For this one, there's a little bit more of a drop shadow. So we're going to do a 0.1, which is about there. And for the size, so we do 0.1, 0.06, and 1.44. So there we go. Okay, there we go. Kind of going this way. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so there's your drop shadows. That's how you do your drop shadows in InDesign, and that's how you would finalize your ad for the woodworking guys. Next, we're going to do a poster. So save this one as your first or your last name, first initial, and name it magazine ad dot INDG or whatever the InDesign file is, and upload it to Google Classroom. Thanks, guys.